Hey everybody, Ross here, and this is Bible Study Silverstar. If this is your first time on this channel, click the first link to go back to the intro, or if you'd like to see just what's been going on recently, click the second link down in the description to go back to the introduction to Numbers. Now, as this video title suggests, this is one of those big chunk videos. This goes through Numbers 1 through 10, mainly because this is going to be one of those videos that if I actually read all of the chapters, it would put you to sleep pretty quick. So anyway, instead of putting you through all that and then you get nothing out of this video, let me just do a broad overview of what's going on here. So anyway, here we go. Considering that this book is only 36 chapters long, this video alone takes us through roughly 28% of the entire book. So why am I moving so quickly? Because this section contains a massive listing of names, among other similar things. This section is about God establishing military and priestly order among his people. It begins with God commanding Moses to take the first census of Israel in order to determine the nation's military potential. The tribe of Levi, however, is not counted in this military census because of their responsibility to take care of the tabernacle as well as the needs of the people. God specifically chose the tribe of Levi for this purpose as a reward for standing with God during the golden calf incident back in Exodus. In chapter 5, the book takes a short break to detail 2 more laws. In short, they tell the people what to do in cases of restitution and when a husband suspects his wife of infidelity. The first law is what you would expect. If someone has sinned against another person or against God, then the guilty party must confess their sin and make restitution for the wrongdoing plus 1/5. The second law is much more interesting. Basically, if a man suspected his wife of infidelity, he could take her to the priest for inspection. To determine the wife's guilt or innocence, the priest makes a bitter water with dust and scrapes words of a written curse, puts the wife under oath, and makes her drink the water. If the wife's stomach swells and her thigh rots, then she was unfaithful to her husband and becomes a curse among the people. If nothing happens, then she has been faithful to her husband and is proclaimed clean. The reason this law is so interesting is because only God can make the water either swell the stomach and rot the thigh, or do nothing at all. The water on its own would have incredibly inconsistent effects. Here it is shown as a reliable infidelity detection tool. That means that this is a test whether the results are accurate, where the results are accurate only by divine assistance. Chapter 6 primarily covers the law of the Nazarite, which I find particularly interesting. Why? Because when someone would take the vow of a Nazarite, they were fully separating themselves to God for a set amount of time. The MacArthur Bible Commentary says that the word Nazarite, quote, translates a Hebrew term meaning dedication by separation, end quote. As part of this separation, the person taking the vow must abstain from alcohol and any kind of grape, because grapes can ferment. They also couldn't cut their hair, and were totally forbidden from even being too close to a dead body, even if it was their parents. This is all in addition to whatever promise the person made to God whenever they took the Nazirite vow. Now I can't help but see this as not only another picture of how God wanted Israel to be a nation separated unto himself, but more so as a picture of the separation we as Christians should have to God. Because the vow was so restrictive, it's doubtful that anyone took it lightly. The people that took this vow did it because they wanted to seek after God wholeheartedly. God viewed the time of separation, and the person by extension, as holy. It's no wonder that time was spent fully dedicated to God. While we don't have to follow this law to the letter today, we can still do this. How? The New Testament brings a fasting and prayer as a great example. If you simply can't do without your daily meals, you can separate a set amount of time every day to seek after God, and keeping it without fail. Honestly though, you should be doing that anyway, but the point still stands. The point is that we can and should take time to separate ourselves from the daily grind and seek after God wholeheartedly. Can't find time? Try early in the morning, which the Bible really advocates. Like your sleep too much? Do it during lunch break. Can't multitask? Skip one evening TV show a day and use that time. Don't worry, Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Instant Video are beautiful things. You won't miss out. Can't do that? Well, I say this in love, but it may be time to evaluate what your priorities really are. Now, chapter 6 ends with the priestly blessing, which reads, "The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace." This is an all-encompassing blessing, really, isn't it? I mean, what else could we really ask for? I mean, this really gets me thinking about the power of words, too. I'd love to do a message on just this, so I'll be brief here. Consider this. Why would God give spoken blessings? Because words hold incredible creative and destructive power. So God is giving us creative and beneficial words to speak over one another. Proverbs 18:21 says that death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So I'm going to add this blessing to the end of each video from here on out, because I want to speak life. Chapter 7 details the offerings of the leaders of the 12 tribes of Israel. It's pretty straightforward, so I'm not all that sure how to comment on it. And the rest of the section deals with matters of organization, such as the dedication of the Levites to the service of the tabernacle, when Israel was to march and when to make camp, and the beginning of their journey from Mount Sinai into the land of Canaan. As far as when to stay and when to go was concerned, that was determined by the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. So long as the pillar was over the tabernacle, Israel stayed put. If the pillar moved from the tabernacle, it was time to march and follow the pillar. We should be doing the same thing. If God is over something, we need to stay there. If he moves, we need to follow. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, feedback, or suggestions, leave them down below in the comments. And may God make you as Ephraim and Manasseh, to be fruitful where you are, and to forget the pain of your past. And the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all soon with Numbers 11.